What's going on, guys, and welcome back to a niche little game that I think is absolutely fantastic. It's an indie game called No Plan B, which is available on Steam and also over on my game store at nexus.gg/controlledpairsgaming. And what you're looking at here is a planning space where we trace out an entire plan with our assault force, and then we click play to watch that plan unfold. And I think what's interesting about this game is the consequences and the progression that the solo developer manages to weave into it. The latest update has added the ability to significantly customize individual characters beyond what he had already done. So now I have the ability to come back in here and customize my individual weapon. I can choose everything from the weapon skin and all the different attachments that I want to put on that weapon. And then I can also customize everything that he's wearing, what color camouflage pattern he's got on, what kind of helmet he's got, every pouch that's located on him. I can name the individual dude, the whole deal. And then you actually have a weapon rack over here. My squad is already deployed. That's why you don't see a ton of stuff here. I still have 3 pistols, but you can see here, I have a stun grenade with me. It's essentially a flashbang, and that stun grenade is a consumable item. So if I use that stun grenade, it is gone. I have to purchase a new one to use it. And then beyond that, you also have various perks that get used throughout the operation as well. So if I come over here and I look at myself, Mr. Pairs, I've got a customized weapon now that has its own kind of its own aesthetic appeal. We put a suppressor on it, we put an EOTech on it, we put a laser on top, and it is just ready to go. And as I continue to complete missions, I will get more currency, and I will have to decide whether I want to spend that currency on leveling up my individual weapon, purchasing consumables, investing them in various perks, or what have you. You also have agent skills over here. So I am an AR specialist by trade, and then I can also choose to level up into these other areas. So you can either increase the quality of your individual operators, you can improve their equipment, or you can purchase items and gear. And then the last piece over here is there's different perks. So you can heal up your squad if they've been wounded from previous operations in the campaign. You can rest them if they are fatigued from previous operations. You can resupply your arsenal, which restores all of your grenades, so that you get a fresh crop of grenades to use in this, different operations. And then you can also do cool stuff like turn off the lights, which I've already elected to do on this map. You can do a map scan, which is like close target reconnaissance, or ISR, gives you an idea of where the enemies may be in the area. You can pump the place full of tear gas. I mean, there's just so many modifiers, so many different decisions to make. And that's kind of like the customization and the progression feature of the game. And then the consequence feature of the game is that in this campaign, it's basically like a tree, like a ladder, and you progress slowly through it, and there's different forks in that ladder. And right now, I am choosing to execute a very difficult mission. And because it's a very difficult mission, the reward is pretty nice. I get 4,000 credits if I successfully complete it, and I can use that to reinvest, as we've kind of described. But if I'm unsuccessful, this mission is no longer available to me, and I'll have to abandon it and instead go somewhere else on that campaign to continue my playthrough of the game. And if you hit an area in that campaign map where there is no branch, there is no other option to progress, and you fail a mission that is essentially at a choke point, you're done. That campaign's over. You are unsuccessful. So there's a lot of consequence here. And because I know this mission is going to be challenging, I stack the odds in my favor by deploying my entire squad, resting them, putting a sniper in Overwatch, kitting my dudes out as best I can. And then on top of all of that, killing the lights and going in with quad tubes across the board. So now what we're going to do is I'll generally describe here my plan for taking down this compound. I'll explain the mission. I will trace out the mission, then kind of explain to you exactly why I chose to do a clearance of this structure the way that I do, and then we will watch the entire thing unfold together, and hopefully it all goes well. So what do we got here? The campaign is, we're at a campaign mission called Blood-Soaked Snake. The objective is to stop the ongoing siege. We can do that by eliminating all of the bad guys in this warehouse. Well, it looks like a warehouse right now. It'll end up being a building later. And so we have to go in there and we have to eliminate all of them. We don't know whether or not there's combatants or, non-combatants in here, so I'm going to be a little bit mindful of that, but I trust my operators to take good shots. And we have some pretty complex room structures in here. So I've got a potential breach here, a potential breach here. I've got another double door breach over here. I've got an external breach here, and I've got some windows over here. So the first thing I'll say is I have positioned a sniper right here. This is my boy Fodder, aka Useless Fodder, who you guys should all go check out. I need to get rid of that. There we go. So Fodder's over here prone on top of this Humvee. He is looking through these windows, and by doing that, if we look at his line of sight, we can see that he actually has a pretty good view in here. He's able to cut off this door completely, and he gets a nice slice all the way down this wall, which means if there's bad guys here or here or here, and they're trying to move towards me, I'm either going to get a shot from fodder right here as they cross this threshold, or I'm going to get early warning and be able to at least see them coming so that they don't have the element of surprise. So by placing that sniper there, I've essentially cut off half of the structure. One of the risks here is he's shooting, high velocity rifle round. It will have to pass through a window or a wall, a second wall, potentially a third wall before it harms me. So while the risk of fratricide looks high based off of the geometry of his position, so I'm trusting materials between me and him plus his marksmanship to mitigate that risk. And then I'm choosing to assault generally from south to north. I'm bringing my entire squad. I have a 2-stack over here. They're going to throw this door open, take a peek inside this room, clear this out so we don't get pushed from this corner. These guys are going to flow in heavy with a 5-man stack through this breach. We'll pie it a little bit from externally, clear out this main room, and once that's done, I'm going to focus on clearing this portion of the building first, because I know, again, this portion of the building is isolated and fodder has that locked down. Once we're clear up here, we'll transition to a simultaneous deliberate clearance across the opposite side of the structure. Once that's complete, we will be clear and secure in the building and hopefully have successfully completed the mission. So with all of that said, I'm going to trace all of this out. I'll play it real quick so you guys can see in that fast forward animation exactly what I'm doing to make every single decision, every single move. And then once that's done, I'll walk you guys through the plan. Then we will click play and watch it all unfold. Here we go. All right, guys, so here is the plan. It's a complicated one, but I think we've got a pretty decent shot of making it work. So what I designed originally, what I described to you guys, is still generally the case. We're isolating this portion of the compound to focus on this portion first. We've got a sniper and Overwatch up top, 2 entry teams down here. We're gonna bang over here in the large structure. I think that's a bigger threat just by the sheer nature of the size and the amount of cover there, while doing a simultaneous entry over here. That's what this looks like. So we attain entry over here to 2-man dynamic entry, element of surprise on our side, as is the darkness. We got a bang in over here, and then a 5-man stack entering, clearing their hard corners and immediately dominating the space as best as they can. As soon as we've got everybody inside, this 2-man element moves up and they're going to take over security on this door. Meanwhile, these guys are going to deliberately clear the right side of this structure. We've got this door locked down and this door locked down. Still some dead space back here. That's what these guys are focusing on.
In position.
We can now see that handover over this door has occurred. This guy's shifting over here to the right, and these guys are moving forward.
In position.
And at that moment, we've now seen the entire room. This room is clear and secure. Next, what we're going to do is hold down this door to further isolate this portion of the compound from this portion of the compound. And that's going to allow a element on this side to move up, do another breach up here, and another dynamic entry. This is where it gets complicated, though, because at this point, we have lost the element of surprise, and we're going to have to be a little bit more deliberate to reduce risk to force, limit our exposure, and be very careful about when, how, and if we enter rooms. So we do run up. Again, we're maintaining security on this door while his team is moving. Down here, we've still got this door locked down. Once this element is set and they've got security on the door, the cover man moves up to stack on the other side. We've now reallocated security on the bottom door as well. As soon as we're set, we're going to start working this door. That door comes open simultaneously down here. The reason I'm opening both of these doors simultaneously is if you look closely, these blue doors here actually have panes of glass in them, so they are transparent. So to reduce risk to this entry team, I'm tossing this door as well, and I'm pulling long security in the hallway to try to get some of the threat that might be in this hallway out of the way so that these guys can just focus on the near threat, which is this room. So this door comes open, this door comes open. I pan this door down in the bottom to pull long security. We put a bang in over here. Correction, there is no bang over there. Our bangs are over here on this side. We'll save one for later, but for now, we're clearing long down the hallway and then doing a dynamic entry over here on the right side. Because we're compromised, I'm being a little bit more careful. In this case, I'm deep and I'm slowly panning that threshold. And then once we commit, we go dynamic and we hit it hard. So there we commit. Immediately clear this hard corner, and this stat comes in left, right, clears the entire room. I've still got some dead space over here behind this tire. This man's going to body block for this man, and then you see we go ahead and body block again against these windows so that we can clear the rest of that dead space. Once that's all complete, we move to and restack on the next set of doors, and then the main effort shifts from the northern element up here down to the other team in the south. So now we've got good security on this door. We've pied a little bit. This is actually an open threshold up top, so dudes can flow out of here. We've got a sniper up top, although those shots are extremely dangerous now because we are entering the hallway that these snipers looking at. There's also a risk of fratricide because these teams are decentralized. I've got guys sticking guns out into a hallway that's about to be entered by friendly forces. Real world, this would take a ton of communication either over the radio or with light or with IR or whatever other method that team might have established. So here we're going to go ahead and bang and enter down in the hallway. Bang goes off. That bang goes right here in the corner. The goal is to affect folks on that side and on that side. I go ahead and enter. We're going to clear this hallway very quickly and get over here into cover, focusing on this hard corner with the first man. Second man comes in, pulls long so that we have a wingman moving with a buddy team. Now that we're here, we've got plenty of dead space that still has to get cleared out, but we don't want to lose access to this hallway. So before I abandon this angle, I'm going to push this next entry team into the hallway to basically occupy and now isolate this small area of dead space that we have not yet cleared. As soon as they enter, we do a handover of security. Bomber here refocuses on this corner. These guys get in and they take over what Bomber was looking at. Now I've got a nice L entering this room so we can see access from this partition here. And then we get a 3-man all the way across the hall to pull security right there on that corner. And again, this is an open breach and we've been looking into it, so that's going to get spicy. This room's clear and secure. We move up, restack. We're going to throw this door open so we can see directly across into this room, across the entire hallway before we commit to it. That's a nice slow pan with some concealment or some cover up top. We'll hold right there, and then we do a dynamic 3-man entry to enter and clear the final room. First man comes in, digs the hard corner. Second man digs his corner. Third man comes in, holds center. And at that point, the level is clear and secure. I'm excited to see how this goes down. This is my first night mission in this game. We'll see how much of an advantage or potential disadvantage that is. I'm satisfied with this plan. Once I clicked execute, there is no going back, and we'll have to deal with the repercussions of this mission. So let's go ahead and check it out. It is dark, my dudes. It is extremely, extremely dark. I think what we'll do is I will go ahead and play it in cinematic mode just like this so you guys can see it all the way through from the top, and then I'll cut it into a spicy edit that you guys can check out at the end. Let's just see how this thing goes. Oh my goodness.
Hostile. Throwing grenade.
Sniper took one shot up top. That's at least 4 down so far, 1 civilian in our initial entry. Glad we didn't leave with frags. Make that 2 civilians in the initial entry. Got good security on the doors, clearing out the large threshold, large room down there in the bottom right. Moving to restack, trading off security down there in the hallway. It's going to get spicy here. This entry in the top right is going to be challenging. I'm a little bit concerned about it. Door comes open. That's 3 down Simo. Glad we threw the hallway at the same time. Top right room is clear. That's a big win. Nice shot all the way across. Glad we had security there. Body blocking. Collapsing towards the hallway. We'll reset security on the hallway. Satisfied with that. Bang goes in. Glad we threw the bang. One more shooter in that top room that I'm seeing there. We had good security on it. Door comes open. Panning across one more time across that top room. And we are clear and secure in the structure. Let's go. Clean run. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you stick around for the replay that's coming up next. If you want to get your hands on a copy of this game, you can do it from my game store at nexus.gg/controlledpairsgaming. The game is called No Plan B. I'm Controlled Pairs, and I'll see you guys in the next one.